Hello, welcome to McDowell's Strategy and Tactics, and thank you to our subscribers. In this series, we play through each of the battles in the American Grand Campaign in Close Combat 4, the Battle of the Bulge. We use historical World War II US Army doctrine to plan and conduct each battle. We start on the strategic map. It is 0800 hours on December 20, 1944, and the weather is overcast. There is no air support, artillery has been allocated, and there are no supply drops. The last battle was at Uflees between the US 9th Armoured Division and the German Kampfgruppe von Böhm from the 2nd Panzer Division. The result was a total American victory, and the German Kampfgruppe was forced to disband. The next battle is at Clerf between the US 7th Armoured Division and the German Kampfgruppe Waldenburg of 116th Panzer Division, a now familiar foe. Clerf must be held as long as possible to delay the German advance. Defend the Chateau to the last man, like the defenders of the Alamo, so that reserves can be brought forward. The churches in the area provide excellent observation posts to stall the Germans. The road leading to Noville is of secondary importance, but should be held so that no German troops may pass. If this town can be held, the road to Dasburg is also the road that leads to the Reich. On the US side is an American armoured battle group from 7th Armoured Division under command of Brigadier General Clark. It moves fast and reserves are full. The Combined Arms Company consists of 3 platoons. First platoon is a tank platoon, mostly equipped with M4 Sherman medium tanks with 75mm main guns. Second platoon is an infantry platoon. And third platoon is a support platoon with 3 tanks and 2 half-tracks. Let's rename the new squads off camera. Now let's review each of the squads. 3-1 is 3rd Platoon Headquarters with a Command Sherman. 1-1 is 1st Platoon Headquarters with a Command Sherman. 2-1 is 2nd Platoon Headquarters. 2-2 is a Rifle Squad. 2-3 is also a Rifle Squad. 1-2 is an M4 Sherman 75mm medium tank. 1-3 is also an M4 Sherman 75mm medium tank. 1-4 is an M4 Sherman 75mm medium tank. 3-3 is an M3 Stuart 37mm light tank. 3-2 is also an M3 Stuart 37mm light tank. 1-5 is an M7 Priest 105mm self-propelled artillery gun. 3-5 is an M21 81mm mortar motor carriage. 3-4 is an M5 heavy machine gun half-track. 2-5 is a Browning 30 caliber medium machine gun. 2-4 is an M9 bazooka team. Next, let's look at the map and conduct a commander's estimate of the situation. Our mission is to advance from Clerf to clear Dasburg. Clerf, now known as Clairvaux, is a small town in northern Luxembourg on the River Clerve. On a hill around which the river curves is the Chateau de Clairvaux, a 12th century castle. North of the chateau, across the river, is a church with 2 tall steeples that overlook the area. Adjacent to the church is a railroad line from Massen in the north, which crosses the river and runs through a tunnel under the hill on its way south to Draufeld. The Route de Marnach also runs from the north, past the road to Noville to the west, around the base of the chateau west of the river, and then off to the east towards Dasburg and from there to the Reich. East of the town, the route is bisected by a road running north to the village of Roiler and beyond that to the Schnee Eifel, with a church and single steeple at the crossroads. Between Clerf to the west and Roiler to the east is a woodland park. This is what Clairvaux looks like today. Observation is good along the roads and from the multi-storey buildings, being the church steeples and the chateau. However, sightlines are obstructed by the woodland park and by buildings. The park and the buildings also provide concealment. The thick stone walls of the chateau provide excellent cover to any defenders. The chateau and town and village buildings are obstacles to vehicle movement, channeling vehicles onto the roads. The surrounding woods and the river are passable but likely to slow down vehicle movement. Avenues of approach into Clerf include along the road from the north, from the east along the Route de Manache, or from the south. The chateau is decisive terrain, which is what one would expect of a castle. It is an excellent defensive position due to its central location, sturdy construction, and observation over the surrounding roads. The crossroad on the Route de Manache is key terrain, as it is a choke point that controls access to Clerf and the chateau. We know from the previous battle that Kampfgruppe Waldenburg is a Panzer company with a Befehlspanzer 5 heavy tank, 3 Panzerkampfwagen 4 medium tanks, some armoured vehicles, and supporting Panzergrenadier infantry. In the last battle, the Kampfgruppe was forced to disband, leaving the Americans in possession of Clerf. Now, the Kampfgruppe is again reconstituted, back and ready for another fight. The German Kampfgruppe is advancing on Clerf from the east. They are likely to seize the crossroads and approach along the Route de Manache to the south of Clerf. The advantage of this approach route is that the castle provides terrain shielding from any forces to the north, rendering them irrelevant to the battle, and armour along the route can mass fire onto the chateau. Their forming up point is likely to be at the crossroads along the Route de Manache. The best engagement area is around the crossroads. Alternatively, the Germans could avoid the Route de Manache in favour of a frontal assault through the woods and across the river. They have used this approach in previous battles. The advantage of this approach is that the panzers do not expose their flanks to fire from the chateau. If the panzers crest around the same time, they can mass fire on the chateau and along the river before the infantry advance. Their forming up point is likely to be along the north-south road in Roila. In both cases, from experience in previous battles, it is likely the Germans will advance tanks and infantry together, with the tanks using firepower to suppress defenders and the infantry closing to occupy the chateau. The best engagement area is at the walls of the chateau. Either German approach exposes their panzers to attack from the flanks or rear while in the forming up point. The first course of action is to outflank the Germans from the north. The infantry of 2nd Platoon, supported by 3-1, will hold the chateau as the Alamo. They will fix the German attack on the river line or on the Route de Manache. The tanks of 1st Platoon will mass north of Roila and clear north to south, catching the Germans in the flank or rear either in Roila or at the crossroads. The mortar and medium machine gun will be at the church, covering 2nd Platoon's left flank. The Stuart light tanks of 3rd Platoon will be to the south as a reserve. The second course of action is to outflank the Germans from the south. Once again, the infantry of 2nd Platoon, supported by 3-1, will hold the chateau as the Alamo. They will fix the German attack on the river line or on the Route de Manache. The tanks of 1st Platoon will occupy attack by fire positions focused on the crossroads. They will engage German panzers moving along the route, one at a time, maximising American firepower. If the Germans mount a frontal attack, 1st Platoon will seize the crossroads and roll up their left flank from south to north. The mortar and medium machine gun will be at the church, covering 2nd Platoon's left flank. The Stuart tanks of 3rd Platoon will be to the north as a reserve. I have made my decision and have placed the platoons and squads in position. The tanks of 1st Platoon in battle pairs in the north of Roila. With the M7 priest in the woods ready to support. The infantry from 2nd Platoon holding the Chateau. The burnt-out hulls of German tanks are good for morale. But the knocked-out Sherman tanks are a sobering reminder that rounds fly in both directions. The bazooka occupies a position in the tower, with the medium machine gun in an overwatch support by fire position in the church to the northwest. And the tanks of 3rd Platoon as a reserve force in the woods to the south, ready to push north on the crossroads, with the 2 half-tracks in the support by fire position at the church. And so we begin. The American flanking attack swiftly destroys the German mortar half-track. Panzers are pushing across the open ground, direct for the Chateau. More Panzers and half-tracks in the woods south of the crossroads. Third Platoon pushes up to catch the Germans by surprise.
Team redeployed. In position. Move completed.
And opens fire. The Kommandowagen is first to be destroyed. The Panzerkampfwagen knows about the threat to its rear, but is immobilized and powerless to respond.
Feldwebel!
1-1 damages the German Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251x16 Flammenwerfer half-track with a flanking shot from the north.
Feldwebel!
While this is going on, the German Panzer assault has stalled, and the Germans are facing the rear. Oh, for an anti-tank gun. Third Platoon pushes forward.
In position. Move completed. Team redeployed.
At last, the Panzer IV is destroyed.
No clear path. No clear path. No clear path. No clear path.
German infantry crawl through the woods to the west of 3rd Platoon.
Move completed.
Feldwebel!
Auf Rechts geschossen.
Another Panzer destroyed at the walls of the Chateau.
In position. Move completed.
The mortar opens up on massed infantry. 2nd Platoon takes casualties from tank fire.
Taking fire!
Time for 1st Platoon to spring the trap shut.
Feldwebel!
The bazooka accounts for another Panzer.
In position.
The medium machine gun team in the church steeple now target Panzer Grenadier with flanking fire as they assault.
Feldwebel, Leutnant!
Aussteigen!
Move completed.
The crew abandoned the Sonderkraftfahrzeug 251/16.
Wir ergeben uns!
Move completed. Team redeployed.
First platoon seizes Roiler and pushes in behind the German attack.
In position. Team redeployed.
3-3 is hit and destroyed by a German tank round.
In position.
Feldwebel! Feldwebel!
Team redeployed.
Feldwebel!
Kommt zurück!
In position. Move completed.
3-1 is immobilized.
Kommt zurück!
In position.
Total American victory. The battle ended because the Germans' force morale got too low and they were forced to retreat off the map. The Americans gained control of the map and the German battle group was forced to disband. The Americans won the battle because they control a greater number of crucial victory locations than the Germans. The Americans lost 3 killed, 7 wounded, 1 tank destroyed, the Stuart, and 1 damaged, the Sherman. The Germans lost 21 killed, 21 wounded, 2 prisoners, 4 tanks destroyed and 1 captured, and 2 armoured vehicles destroyed and 1 captured. Let's examine the American squads. In Nielsen's Sherman, Eriksson is credited with the mortar half-track kill. Sergeant Gallup, commanding 2nd Platoon, is killed defending the Chateau, and Moon and Pickrell seriously wounded. In Sergeant Lassen's Rifle Squad, Schuler is credited with a tank kill and also awarded the Silver Star. Edmondson on the Bazooka adds another tank kill to his tally. In Manning's Sherman, Goff is credited with a tank kill and is awarded the Bronze Star. Page and Cook share credit for another tank kill. Sadly, Del Grosso, their driver, is killed. "3-3 is destroyed and the crew wiped out, 1 dead, 3 seriously wounded. Williamson and Anson share credit for the half-track kill. So far, the campaign remains a major American victory. The Grand Campaign has 12 days remaining. Your defence of the Ardennes is progressing better than your historical counterparts. This victory at Clerf has almost completely isolated a German pocket behind American lines. Over the course of the campaign, cumulative American losses are 315 killed in action, 321 wounded in action, 34 tanks, 4 vehicles, and 16 guns. Cumulative German losses are 761 killed, 700 wounded, 108 tanks, 105 armoured vehicles, and 1 anti-tank gun. So, what did we learn? This battle demonstrates the importance of the combined arms approach. The infantry at the Chateau provided the blocking force, while the cavalry manoeuvred behind the Germans. American tanks destroyed 2 Panzers, bazooka a third, and infantry rifle grenade a fourth. Meanwhile, German infantry faced rifle fire to their front, machine gun fire to their flank, and mortar fire overhead. The Germans received combined arms effects from every direction. Eventually, it proved too much, and the remaining German forces surrendered. As Doctrine states, no one arm wins battles. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and donate, and stay tuned for the next episode.